understand me fine and you can see fine. Well, not much to see, really, but, as far as it goes. This, as you can see, is a little phone stream, but, it's really not going to be long at all. It's more of a little, update, I guess. I am alive kind of thing, I guess. Mayhaps. Well, not like, y'all haven't heard from me in a while. But still, there's not going to be a long stream today, and I didn't want to just cancel and say nothing. So this is what we've got, where we are. I figured I would show you this pretty little window covering, which does funny things to the light. And, that's kind of that. That's more or less that. Didn't have an update last weekend, and we'll have to see how this week goes. If everything works out like it should or not. But, life kicks you in the butt sometimes. Hello, Nix. Good to see you. I hope you're doing all right. And that you're having a good week so far. We're almost halfway through it. But yeah, obviously unusual to have a more or less quiet stream. Well, pretty damn quiet, actually. Got no music in the background or nothing. Yeah, we're just kind of gonna do this for a little. If there's anything we have to talk about, we'll talk. So if you guys have any topics you would like me to take a slice at, or I don't know, anything like that, we can do that for a bit. Other than that, yeah, it's just, it is, and it is what it is. I'm quite tired. Donated blood yesterday, and somehow that really took me out today still. I thought I'd ate enough, because that's pretty important. Take something out of your body, you need food to refuel, and also lots of water, much water, very much water. But yeah, that's all the health updates I can give. Other than that, yeah, things are not great. Not great. The donating is fun though. Makes me feel like productive in a way. Like I'm doing something good, and it gets me out of the house for a good reason. I always feel like a little bit silly, just walking through stores that I know so well, that I've always been at, when there's nothing I need. I mean, I don't need to get groceries, I don't need to talk to anyone, I don't need to do whatever. I enjoy driving around, going for joyrides or whatever. But technically, actually, funny enough, fun fact, I guess, for any of those of you who don't know it, that's illegal in Germany. You are not allowed to drive without a reason. The reason can be basically anything. Like, if you just say like, oh yeah, well, I wanted to check out this one place downtown, I just wanted to drive by it and look at it, that's like a good enough reason, as far as I'm aware. But you can't just say, oh, I'm driving around because I want to drive, Obviously, this never comes up in a conversation. Like, no one gets arrested for driving without a good reason. But still, technically illegal. Anyway, hi Lorelei. I hope that's the correct pronunciation of that name. Welcome to stream. Yeah. Oh gosh. Hopefully, I'm gonna do some audios, some good, not just audios. That's not what I was trying to say. That I'm gonna do some good audios again soon, that are interesting and fun to listen to. I have such a long list of prompts, but then sometimes still like I can't really. I feel like I don't make something interesting with stuff. Like still you need like a little spark, to get the idea going, make something nice out of it. Also, hi Panda. Welcome. Getting some yawns out of me today. Driving to keep the battery charged so I don't have to pay someone to come recharge it for me because I haven't driven in a while. How long does it take for a battery to just be empty, like, from not running? I feel like that's years, no? Well, like months at least, many months. But I feel like, because what's common is here that cars are registered for only like part of the year, like people have like summer cars and also motorcycles usually, right? You don't want to drive through the fucking ice and snow on a two-wheeler. You're not gonna have a good time, especially when you have to just wear leather and a fucking helmet, and then you're in the fucking cold and the wind and whatever else. So besides it being dangerous, it's also unpleasant. So people, often have those registered only from March till October or something. So then between October and March, doesn't usually run, right? Or do people like just turn it on in their garage like once a month to make sure the battery doesn't drain? Die by itself in a few weeks to a month? I feel like, interesting. I mean, if it was like a really bad, weak battery, I could understand that. But really, like a perfectly fine one does that? Yeah, that they die faster in the cold, I can also understand. But still, I've never heard of, yeah, someone having to maintain their battery like that. But maybe that's just because it's like relatively easy to recharge as long as you have the equipment, or a jump cable and another vehicle. I don't know. In all my car issues and family who likes to kind of hobby mechanic around there, no one's ever been like, hey, if you're away for a few weeks on vacation, make sure that the battery doesn't run dry. But I don't know. Oh, like, okay, so it'll be so drained that you can't use the starter. Interesting. You mean like the jump start, or what? Yeah, obviously non-electric cars. Or are we? I was assuming that we're talking about non-electric. Ah, so you just mean like starting the car. Gotcha, okay. Interesting. Learning so much about cars and shit. But yeah, I know that it's not good to leave a car like standing around for a longer while. But I thought that was like for a few reasons, and I thought that was like, like I don't know, half a year. If I'm not using my car for half a year, then I gotta check on it or whatever. Obviously, also difference between having it out in the elements and having it standing in a garage, but yeah, you know. I know, about the tires and stuff, the tires. But I guess the other stuff would also cause issues. That's fair enough, Frank. I get you, I get you. Totally get you. Cars are such a complicated affair to me. It's fucking rocket science, except it's easier. But I still don't get it. To be fair, I guess I don't invest too much time in learning about it. But if I ever try and learn like a little thing, because it's necessary, because like my car's having trouble, or I don't know, it's just like a little thing I want to understand, I can never quite get it right. But also I think it's just a lot like, like some stuff you just gotta see for yourself and you just gotta try out, but I'm scared to do that because of the damages like anything would take. To fix if I mess it up. Like if something's broken and I try and fix it and I just mess it up more, well, that would suck much more and be much more expensive. I was so scared to change my like tires the first time because like someone told me like, oh yeah, you can only put the what's it in English, what's the thing called that you prop up the car with so you can actually access the tire? I forget. But you all know what I mean, right? The thing you put under part of the car and then you get it to move up slowly, so this being like a car jack, thank you. I was very scared to change my own tires because I was told, well, if you put this in the wrong place under your car, you're like, in like a weak place, it's actually just gonna like, it's not gonna prop up the car, or when it tries to, it's gonna fucking break. And I'm like, well, that doesn't sound good. No, thank you. And this person told me like, oh, you gotta look for the markings under the car. And I look under my car and there's no fucking markings. Later, find out there are no fucking markings. You just kind of know where it goes. Cool. Hi. That's very fair, Frank. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a good night. Wiring electrical stuff is of course more important, more complicated still. Also, I feel like you can do even more wrong. Like if you mess anything up, you just fry the whole damn thing, or you shock yourself and die. My dad's an electrician, so he knows a little bit of stuff about it. That reminds me, there's a few things in life that like just don't come up in conversation usually, like I think unless someone's like really mindful, like they don't tell you this thing. That would be good to know. But also I don't think, like, maybe you can call me stupid with like the example I'm about to give, but also like if you never have to think about this at all, if you're never taught this, I feel like you wouldn't naturally think of it. Like when I moved into my first apartment, I was like, okay, I want to put up some hooks, I want to put up some pictures, I'm going to put some nails in the wall. Did not think about the fact that maybe I should check that there's no wiring behind. This is especially relevant in a place where I put up a hook very close to a light switch in my living room. Thankfully, nothing happened. It seems I didn't hit the wire, but I should have considered that, and I absolutely did not. um, but yeah, so if you never ever think about, oh yeah, what's up with like electrical wiring, and what do I have to consider when I move into my first apartment? And then no one tells you, like, hey, obviously there's stuff behind the wall and you don't want to hit that, and you could hit that with a nail. So, maybe get yourself a little device that shows where it's safe to put in the nail. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, obviously part of the fear of like doing something is that when you've never done it before. Once you've done it, then it's easier, especially with someone guiding you through it. The thing is, I was still scared after someone else, like I stood by watching someone change my tires, and then only when I was in like what I felt was an emotionally safe environment, where someone told me like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. How about you try it? And then they guide me along. They don't just do it and I watch and I try and soak up as much information as I can, but still obviously I'm not gonna remember everything, right? And after some time, I feel like something that you're not doing frequently or that you have ever done frequently, you you learn to forget again. Like I I definitely my first car had summer and winter tires, and now my second car has like all weather tires, all year round tires, whichever one you call them. Um, so I'm a little worried that if I get a car after this one that has summer and winter tires again, or even if I change my mind about this car and I'm like, well, it's safer to get winter tires for the winter, whatever, um, that I'll like need help again changing the tires the first season, because like I'll be too worried that I've forgotten an important step because it was just years ago that I changed my last tire, because I never did it with any frequency. It's not like when you learn to be a mechanic and you were changing tires every week or every day. I don't know how often mechanics actually have to change tires. I mean, I feel like they do a lot of different shit, so maybe there goes days where they don't change tires. You know, probably. But anyway, obviously, when you do that so often, it's routine. Like, you just know that shit. You're not ever gonna forget that. Um, but if you only ever change your tires every once in a while, or rather, I think I changed my tires once or twice. Before that, other people did it for me, like family and stuff. And then now I have a car that doesn't need its tires changed, so I did it once or twice. My walls indeed are brick. Well, yeah. I mean, or concrete. Well, they're something hard. They're not American houses. Yeah, it's an older one. But to be fair, there's older houses that have both. But yeah, but obviously in front of the either brick or concrete, there's still other stuff. I mean, the wiring don't go through any bricks. It's in front or behind or whatever, whichever way you're looking at it from. The wiring on mine might be behind from another person's perspective. All right. Now I'm just rambling silly for no good reason. Um, but yeah, damn. Ended up talking a lot about cars now. I forget how we got to the topic, but yeah, that's kind of all that. No, it does snow here. Um, it also gets icy. But like, I live in the city. To be fair, I mean, I've been wanting to change that for years. But when you're not necessarily in the countryside, um, where you might drive on streets that haven't been plowed or treated yet, then it makes more sense for sure. Um, it still would be safer to have winter tires because it does ever, like if it ever snows, freezes, whatever. But I didn't quite know that. I thought it was just like it wasn't an important difference at all. And I was like, well, look at all these idiots always changing their tires when you can just get one kind that does it just as best for both. uh, well, anyway, now I know better, but I think it shouldn't be too big of an issue. And as long as I drive as carefully as possible, that should also mitigate some risks, you know. Be mindful of speed. Don't brake harshly, don't accelerate harshly. Don't turn the corner too fast. My first year that I had my first car, I was at this clinic and I would drive home on the weekend to wash my clothes because I didn't want to use the laundry system that they had going at the clinic. And one time I was driving home Friday evening, and it was like it was just snowing, and it had snowed a little bit earlier in the day as well. And I wasn't going particularly fast. Like I was inner city, and I was a very like cautious driver anyway, but still I slid around the corner there, and I was hella startled because going around the corner, I almost slid into the car that was like stood at the light waiting. You know, on the side, but thankfully stopped in front of it. But yeah, that was I was a bit panicked the next few minutes driving after that. But you know, when you've never experienced snow before, it's kind of funny because I had my driving lessons in winter actually, but I never drove in like wintry conditions. It was always dry. Um, Manga. I'm not reading any manga actually. Um, Nukes mentioned earlier. I missed that and I was like, why are you asking me randomly manga I'm reading? You don't know if I read mangas at all. But right, that's Nukes. Well, I hope it's been a fun story, that you've been enjoying it. But yeah, all right. So we chatted for a bit. As you can see, I am alive and kicking. I hope you guys are all okay, or as okay as you can be. I'll talk to you all soon. Hopefully for the next upload, you know, tomorrow's Patreon, and then Sunday is YouTube. All as usual, all as it goes. I hope you enjoyed today's, once more, a little unconventional stream. And, yeah, have a good day, evening, night, wherever you all are. Remember to stay hydrated and eat something yummy. Your body needs the nutritions. And, yeah. Bye-bye.